Beautiful ways to you. It is amazing who we are in the ways of God instead of the ways of the culture. We are here to be in oneness with the God of creation and to be and to do who we were created to be and do. Beautiful ones, this sharing is on one remarkable female who was a nun and for many of us lived in our time. Here's a forethought. Saint Teresa of Avila taught us about the 7 levels of personal and spiritual intimacy with God. The 7th dwelling is our soul, and in the innermost chamber, there where the beloved dwells. That fits this precious soul very well. I mean, blessed banana peel souls of the more, that is amazing truth, that what we have access to. Cristina Montella was born in Naples on April 3rd, 1920. When she was 2 years old, while at her aunt's house, there was this picture of Saint Gerard Magella, a Redemptorist saint, and I've posted videos on him in the past. She saw the picture come to life and ran away scared. Several days later, she gathered her courage up and came to see the picture again. This time, Saint Gerard extended his arms towards her, embraced her, and told her, "Cristina, you will become a nun." During her childhood, she continued experiencing mystical phenomena like frequent interaction with the child Jesus, and with the Virgin Mary and her guardian angels. And her heavenly friends, her celestial buddies, told her, "Shh, don't see anything about it." At the age of 14, Cristina meets Padre Pio for the first time on a night in August 1934. Padre appeared to her while she was praying. She had no clue who Padre Pio was. Padre Pio started calling her Bambina, little girl, because of her amazing innocence that flowed from her. While she was 15 years old on September 14th, 1935, around 2 o'clock a.m., while praying as usual in her bed, heaven opened up to her. She saw in the forefront Jesus alive on the cross, with rays coming out of his wounds. There was Mama Mary, St. Joseph was there next to her, and of course, Padre Pio. And at that time, she received the wounds of Yeshua. Padre Pio joined her mystically almost every night. Some call it the flight of bilocating. On January 10th, 1940, her dad had a stroke and died. He was strongly opposed to her becoming a nun. She prayed with all of her being for her father, and on the 7th day, Yeshua gave her the okay to visit her father in what some people call purgatory, and then to escort him to heaven. Wow. 8 months to the day after her dad crossed over, she entered the cloister of the Augustinian nuns in Pisa, Italy, where she remained for 51 years until her death on November 26, 1992, and her name became Rita. At the convent, she performed different jobs like being a cook, a nurse, a sacristan, a seamstress, and an accountant. Padre Pio would bilocate and meet her, and they would pray together with 2 couples of angels who would hold their arms up. Can you picture these 2 praying with these 4 celestial ones, assisting them in such sacred ways? Sacred grass blades, beautiful ones. That's amazing. You know, the glorious angels are quite amazing. But our culture keeps us distracted with distractions upon distractions each day. Wonder why? Down deep, I bet you know. Most precious folks would be totally amazed who is supporting them in their walk with God. Sister Rita had incredible sacred gifts such as visibly seeing her guardian angel, the gift of prophecy, reading of hearts, and bilocation. She also had the rare gift of accompanying souls into paradise, the souls of those on whose behalf she had suffered the pains of purgatory. I will share a few more things about Sister Rita of the Holy Spirit as she now known. Sister and Padre Pio bilocated so many times to different places to help people. Here's one example. They would bilocate to Budapest to comfort a cardinal who was in jail, who would also visit they also would visit other victims, when they were visiting there. She would bring sacred vessels to the cardinal to say Mass. She would even take the cardinal coffee. As I've taught for years, there's so much more for you and I that is found within the depths of our relationship with God. Remember St. Teresa's words, quote, "The innermost chamber where the beloved dwells," end of quote. Wow. It is fascinating that there is so much evidence that verified Rita's mystical ways. For example, her abbess of the convent, Abbess Matilda, writes how she confirmed some of her bilocations with Padre Pio. Her spiritual directors also verified her mystical ways. As many mystics have gone through mockery and verbal abuse, not all in the convent appreciated Rita's gifts from God flowing through her. Much persecution has gone on against the mystical ones. Rita's life is a precious proof of one like you and I living a mystical life. One of the ministries Sister Rita and Padre Pio did was during World War II, they often visited soldiers who were in danger by bilocating, that flight through bilocation. Being persecuted for your mystical ways is because of a great misunderstanding of the more that we all have access to. Padre Pio was mistreated among some of his monks and even by the Pope. He was way too mystical for them. Sister Rita of the Holy Spirit inside the convent suffered from the persecution of some of the sisters that disliked her. They humiliated her. They called her strange and a hypocrite. She tried to keep her supernatural life hidden from them, which in reality was impossible to do. Her abbess had written to another abbess at another convent about the situation with Sister Rita, telling her that here between you and I, we have a saint among us. Yeshua desired for her to be known because of her gifts of counseling and prophecy, and her prayers could help so many people. And he wanted her to meet other religious and lay people. Another mystical experience she had many times was that her guardian angel would appear and share words with Sister Rita. And while looking at her angel, she would write down in her notebook everything the angel was saying. There were many of these autobiographical notebooks that her spiritual director and abbess and trusted nuns, they would read these. Like Padre Pio, Sister Rita's presence was often detected by the fragrance of violets. Holy flower beds. This is a divine unveiling. Here are the last two mystical experiences I will share with you that are totally mystical and even part of history. On May 13th, 1981, Sister Rita bilocated to assist Pope John Paul II the day he was shot. Ali, the man who shot the Pope, shared there was a nun who was there and diverted the death shot away. Sister Rita said Mama Mary was also there, present, assisting. The second experience is when Padre Pio was dying. She bilocated to be with him in the room on September 23rd, 1968. There with Mama Mary, St. Francis, and St. Clare, she suffered watching the doctors try to resuscitate him, and she said they should have just let him cross in peace. Thank you, Sister Rita, for your ways. The mystic more can be for each one of us. It's a choice that we make each day. Thank you for spending some time here with Rev. Your visit is appreciated. So many skyfuls. There is so much more for you. Meaningful blessings to you. Till next time. Bye-bye.